Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and today we are in my indoor terrace garden here because there is a phenomenon going on and I absolutely love this. This video is all about my beautiful Zamioculcas zamiifolia plants. I have lots of different pots and they are all growing new stems and new leaves at the same time. And I've discovered now the last couple of years that late January to mid-February is when these plants in my indoor terrace garden here in southern Sweden, in the environment I have here, start growing their new stems. So within that 1 month period, I will expect to see new growth. And this has happened every year, the last 3 years at least. So I'm really pleased that this is happening again this year. So I just want to show you my plants, because this is an absolutely wonderful event when lots of plants start doing this at the same time. I also want to show you at the same time how resilient these plants are. I'm not proud of it, but the first plant I'm going to show you is absolutely covered with dust. I haven't got in to shower it or clean it off for a long time, and it's in a darker corner, but yet it is producing new stems. So I just want to show you that before I go and clean this plant after my video, to show you that they really are quite resilient. So you see these plants very beautiful and shiny online. They have lovely, lush, shiny leaves if they're kept clear and bright. This one has matte leaves because they really are covered in dust, and well, I will sort it out. But I just want to show you the truth of it when you have a lot of plants and you can't get round to everything all the time. So let's have a look at the stems on this first plant I have here. So this is my first plant, and you will notice that this plant is in a catch pot here, this ceramic pot, and inside that the plant is actually in a plastic pot, and on top of the soil in this plastic pot I have a lot of leca balls, and well, you would think this is a recipe for disaster because this plant really doesn't like to be overwatered too much or left sitting in water for too long. This pot feels pretty heavy. I watered it yesterday for the first time in quite a while actually. And I've done that specifically because it's growing out new stems, so it must need some moisture right now. And I did do a video where I repotted nearly all of my Zamioculcas zamiifolia plants, and I put some plants together that were in different pots to save me some space. But this one was a grouping of plants that I got on sale a while back, a really good bargain price. They were only as small as the front ones here. They grew out these longer stems last year and they are producing more this year, which means they're going to get taller and taller. So I'm so pleased that this worked out, and despite being in a plastic pot in a mixed soil, which I can't even remember how I made, and the leca balls on top, well, this plant is actually surviving and with a load of dust on the leaves. Let me bring you in for a closer look now at these beautiful new stems. So you can just about see me here, but if you look here, there's one stem. If you look at the back here, there's two. If you look in the middle there, there's three. If you look at the front there, there's four. And I think there's one coming up at the back over here. So in just this one pot, I have 5 new stems coming up. And look at these beautiful leaves, full of dust, but they're shiny and green underneath. They just need a cleaning off, and this plant will look gorgeous again. But this is just to show you how resilient this plant is and how wonderful it looks when they all start budding out again, even in this condition. Dusty plastic pot, lots of leca balls and all sorts. I'm just extra diligent about watering this plant. So when I water all my other ZZ plants, I miss this one out every 1 or 2 times that I water, because I know that it's going to take that extra amount of time to dry out enough to be watered again. And it seems to be doing the trick for this one plant. So let me go and get another one now to show you how that's doing. So this is my next ZZ plant I want to show you here. This is the amazing Zamioculcas zamiifolia Raven. And well, you can see all the lovely dark green, almost black leaves on all of these stems here. And then the new ones that are coming out, there's one here and there's one at the back. So in this pot I have 2 that I can see right now. They come up a lovely lime green colour, and then they'll turn into this black colour, this dark green black colour, the more they mature. This one I planted in a terracotta pot when I made my video about these plants, and you can see that it was a success because the plant is growing out new stems. This is one of my favourite ZZ plants. I absolutely love the black colour. This is on the floor and it's doing well. And I'm going to show you, I've just noticed there's a leaf here that has been, looks like it's just been knocked about a bit. And it's got a little bit of browning and drying and so forth. I think it's been knocked as we've gone past and things like that, just to show you some mechanical damage that you can get on these plants. Well, that's no problem. All you have to do is go and snip that off if you want to, but you can also leave it there to let the plant carry on photosynthesizing if it's not disease or anything that's damaging the plant in any way like that. And this isn't, so I will just leave it there. Imperfections are also beautiful on your plants, I think. So let's have a closer look at this. If you look here, this stem here is a whole new stem, new leaves, and then there's a little one at the back down here coming up. So look at those. You can see the limey green colour as they come out, whereas the rest is this dark black raven colour. And if we turn it around, you might get to see the little one at the back too. Yes, you can see it just there. So this is doing really well, this plant as well. And well, these ZZ plants, they all need basically the same care. I'm not doing anything different with all of these plants. All the plants in the terracotta pots, watered at the same time, and in plastic pots a longer time. And well, the conditions must be such that they all want to start blooming out right now. So that's really, really wonderful. Now, I don't know if they managed to send some chemical messages to each other, something in the air where one starts to shoot out a new stem and then the others start doing the same thing. That would be really, really interesting if that's the case, because they're not in the same pots. Some of them aren't that close to each other, but yet they're all doing the same thing. So the conditions here must be perfectly right for them right now to be growing out new stems. Even in the low light condition of my indoor terrace garden, and I am so happy. I've had this plant a while now, and it just gives me so much pleasure and joy to look at this ZZ Raven plant. Yes, it's absolutely gorgeous. Yes, it does need to be dusted off as well, but I will get round to that. It is a survivor of a plant. Let me show you the next pot. So this is the third pot I have to show you here. And some of the stems I've got too heavy for themselves, and you can see they are hanging down and hanging over the edge of the pot. And I like that look, so I'm not going to do anything about it. They're fine like that. Some are up, and the 2 newest stems, which are the green, the bright green ones in the middle here, these 2, are standing up stiff and tall and have lots of lovely new leaves on them and look gorgeous. And these tall ones, this one here is last year's growth. The taller ones, they're last year's growth. And when I bought the plants, they were these shorter ones down here. So every year they've been getting taller and taller and doing really, really well. So let's have a look at these closer up too. This one I have to hold with 2 hands because it's a much bigger plant. But you can see that lovely bright green growth there at the front. So these plants are doing really well. And as I said, at the moment, I can only see these 2 new stems. But there could be new stems on the way up soon in this 1-month window where they flush out. Lovely. So I just want to quickly show you my 4th and final pot for this video. And this one I can't lift up because the stems are much longer. And every year I've had stems that have grown out very long, and some have broken and had to be cut away. And I think when I did my video where I repotted this plant as well, just before that I'd actually cut away quite a few of the stems, but it's starting to rejuvenate itself and it has 2 new stems coming up, and I'm so pleased about that. So we'll have a look at that to show you how tall these plants can get. And this isn't the tallest height as well. I mean, I've seen these plants with stems 1 meter high. I mean, really big plants. They can be beautiful. So let's have a quick look at this one as my final plant. So here you can see the new shoots coming out of my largest ZZ plant, and these stems are between 60 and 80 centimeters tall. They're very frail, hence being held up with a metal frame, because as we pan down you'll see in the middle they kind of kink, and if not supported they will just snap off completely. So they're being supported, and that's why you can see that little dent in the side of them. A little bit wrinkly, but they've been watered and they're absolutely fine and gorgeous. So that's me finished with my show and tell of my beautiful Zamioculcas zamiifolia plants that are all growing out new stems here at the moment in February 2022 here in southern Sweden in my indoor terrace garden, and I am so thrilled. If you haven't seen that video where I repotted these plants, I suggest you go back and see that video, because they were in smaller pots, plastic pots and so forth. And some plants I put together, some just repotted, new soil. They're in a very aerating soil. I water these plants every couple of weeks or once a month or whenever I feel like they need some water, and they survive. And I think that is one of the reasons why I haven't got round to going and taking these to my shower and spraying them off, to clean them off all their leaves, to give them a lovely shiny glow on them again so they can look beautiful. But despite that, as I said, they're growing out new stems, so they're able to photosynthesize enough anyway to keep them going. But I don't want to go and shower them off now until the late springtime, where I know it's warm enough to go and give them a good shower, because that will thoroughly soak through the water, and I don't want these plants sitting in water soaked all the way through during the winter time right now still. So I'll just wait a little bit longer for that, and then I will go and give them all a spray over, and then they'll be able to dry out quick enough to keep them happy. I haven't fertilized these plants. They really don't need fertilizing very often. You can do it now and again, an organic fertilizer, but only during the summer months, I would say. But really, no fertilizer for these plants, and they're all sprouting. And I don't know the reason why they sprout out in the middle of the winter here. They don't grow anything during the summer for me. They just enjoy, you know, the light, the extra light. But it's during the winter that they grow out, which is quite interesting, and also shows that they don't need the maximum amount of light to do so. So this was just a quick video to show you how happy I am with my ZZ plants. I absolutely love my ZZ Raven here, and I know a lot of you have at least one of these plants, and I am still on the lookout for the different varieties of this plant that I still haven't got in my collection yet. So I've been saving that so I can get something new at some point in this collection. So I really hope you enjoy your ZZ plants and watching them grow and all the different things that you do with them. Share any questions or comments you have below, and that would be absolutely wonderful. So all I have to say now is thank you very much once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be coming up, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye!